I get this voicemail. So I about 15 minutes pass after I get the phone call. I look, check the voicemail, and it's just her. It's the wife saying, "Shay, we got a problem. Water is raining down into my garage.
Oh no!
Here now." And dude, it's my first year, bro, and I'm panicking.
Well, have you ever found anything? I'm sure. Like, what's some crazy things you pulled out of a toilet?
I guess a
This isn't your standard home service podcast. Hosted by Bobby Danielson, Plumb Funny's the only show with world-famous guests you won't recognize, but you'll wish you worked with. Welcome to the messiest and funniest job site in podcasting.
What's going on, everybody? Bobby here with Plumb Funny. Today's guest, we have Shay the Plumber. Shay, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Shay the Plumber out here from Newport Beach, California.
Shoo! Are you originally from Newport Beach?
No, I'm not originally from Newport Beach. I actually grew up in the Valley area, Temecula, but I got family out here and been out here for about 3 years now.
Nice. How do you like it? What's the big difference from Temecula, Newport Beach? Of course, the beach, but
yeah, huge, man. I mean, Temecula, it's desert, so you got wine country, you got a lot of pretty stuff going on, but it is very hot, very dry. At least here, you got beautiful geography, you got the cliffs, you got the weather, you got the beach.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is a great view. You surf at all?
You think I would, but I don't.
Yeah.
I got a surfboard. It just sits in my garage.
Same here.
But yeah, I mean, and I've never been a surfer. I've been a skateboarder.
Yeah,
but,
that was my next question.
I do love the water. So.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the Pacific is it's always cold. I kind of lived in Florida for a little bit, and it was fucking like bathtub water, so it's not even refreshing. Which kind of sucks, but so you grew up skateboarding. Any specific parks that you went to, Chino or like Volcom?
No, so it's funny, man. I got a story about that. So when I was young, I was a pretty insecure little kid, man. And I remember the first time I went to an actual skate park. It was called the Ollie House, and it was like a 2-story skate park or whatever. And up until that point, I was skating like street and like jamming hills and stuff
with the boys.
Yeah, so me and the boys, we went out to Ollie House, dude, and we were gonna go rip. And I remember standing on top of a quarter pipe, and I was going in down to a fun box or whatever, and I just remember thinking like, yeah, no problem, man. I overcommitted out the gate, and when I smashed, I was so embarrassed.
Ew, so you went straight to bottom.
Yeah, I went straight to bottom. I mean, chest first, like overcommitted. Yeah, well, yeah, blew me out.
Yeah.
Dude. But yeah, I was so embarrassed that I actually avoided skate parks from there on.
Really?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because I've always enjoyed transition skating, but I avoided it because of that insecurity. So I just stuck to street. So we'd hit ledges, we'd go hit stairs, we'd bomb hills, parking structures. I mean, that's what I would do.
That's fun. Dude, were you good at tricks?
I mean, I was all right. Yeah, I mean, I could kickflip a staircase.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, I could not do that, but if you put me in some vert, I'll like air out and stuff.
Yeah.
Kick flipping, like, my fucking shins would hurt.
No,
I was a little pussy.
I love flip trick. But now that I'm older, I mean, I'm pushing 40, dude. I'm 39.
Are you? You look good for 40.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're getting around. Fuck yeah.
I wish now at later this stage of my life, I wish I can go hit bowls and stuff, dude.
Right? Yeah. It looks like the coolest, like, dads are like, they're 50 years old, but they're shredding.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, so cool. Good.
Heck yeah. So let's get into your work life or your childhood, I guess. Did you ever grow up like familiar with the trades? Were you a handy kid? You like working on stuff, breaking stuff?
No, man, not at all. I was a very introverted kid pretty much until middle school. And then I don't know if we're going to go this deep into it, but in middle school, I just, again, came from a place of insecurity where just trying to find my place.
Yeah.
Found my place with all the knuckleheads, man, who ran amok and, really just started to get in trouble. So I never really found any sort of passion for a long period of my life. It mainly was just partying and drugs and kind of lived that lifestyle up until my 20s. It was around that time I started working at the Home Depot. And I had done so many different types of jobs, but eventually I ended up at the Home Depot working in the plumbing department.
No way.
And when I started there, it was actually during the heyday of Home Depot. Now when you go into a Home Depot and you're looking around for someone to help you,
they're non-existent.
They're dipped, bro. Yeah, they'll come down an aisle and be like, "Oh no, there's someone there."
Yeah.
Peace. Well, back when I used to work there, they actually hired like retired journeymen and you would essentially learn the trade from them, and they had like a really good computer program that
Yeah.
taught you the basics, everything from like identifying the difference between a pipe thread, a flare thread, a compression thread, like
Hmm.
all the basic stuff that you would kind of learn in an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And so I stuck with that for about 8 years, and I had done some stuff at my house, like small plumbing work,
Yeah.
because it was all small
Faucets or
service.
something.
Yeah,
Kind of. Yeah.
faucets. One time, man, when I was living in Vista with my buddy, and I was like half asleep,
Hmm.
and I went to use the restroom or whatever, and for whatever reason, so like if you imagine, like here's the toilet, and here's like the vanity, and simultaneously I go to flush the toilet and I pop open the medicine cabinet,
Uh-huh.
and as I pop open the medicine cabinet, this air freshener, like aerosol can, just falls,
Hmm.
hits the edge of the vanity. It shoots the
Oh.
cap right as it's flushing. So like there's no time to grab it. It's like flush,
Bing.
suction, yeah, get stuck.
No.
Yeah, so that was my first ever learning to pull and reset a toilet on my own. 'Cause I didn't want to tell my landlord,
Yeah.
dude.
Hey,
So
I fucked
I
up
was-
the.
yeah, I'm like, bro, it was a one bathroom place.
Oh.
So I'm like, bro, I gotta pull this thing, dude. And I pulled it off, and that was my introduction to pulling and resetting the toilet. But
Were you surprised that like was it harder than you thought, or was it easier?
it was actually a lot easier than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
Now, as a plumber, looking back at that, I realized like all the variables that could have happened of like me removing that and
Oh,
the
yeah.
flange being shot, or
Ooh.
like attempting to turn the water off and that angle stop,
Uh-huh.
like not like
Oh,
I think about like all the things that could have happened.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked everything went smooth, but it was like a really pleasant experience
Yeah.
pulling that toilet, dude.
At least it wasn't a chocolate swamp,
Yeah,
you know.
100%, dude.
Sweet. So you were at Home Depot, and then what was the jump getting into plumbing like after?
So yeah, I was at the Home Depot, and towards the end of my time, I started to have kind of a spiritual experience where, coming out of drug addiction and trying to find purpose in life,
Yeah.
I ended up finding it through Christ in the
Mhm.
church, and just really started to dive into my faith that
Yeah.
way, and that kind of led me into a role where I was able to like internship underneath the pastor, because at the
Mhm.
time I was going up to Skid Row and I was handing out like little gospel tracts and stuff,
Yeah.
and just trying to preach hope, to
Mhm.
people who are kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And that's where my heart was at. My heart was for, the homeless, and,
Yeah.
people who are down and out. And
Especially, yeah. That's
yeah,
I couldn't even imagine.
it's hard. Yeah, I mean, luckily I always had houses to crash when I was in my funk, but like I saw homeboys that had been living under bridges and stuff,
Yeah.
and like trying to figure stuff out. So
And at what age were you? Sorry, like keep stop.
when all this happened,
Yeah, were you like
Um,
mid-20s?
yeah, so I had my conversion probably like when I was 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26 is when I got like sold out, and I was like,
Mhm.
let's do this, man.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a second puberty almost for guys at 23 or 25, 23 to 25 or something happens with our hormones, and that's where it's like you feel the most overwhelmed, like 25-ish. So that's I've seen it in a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
They've spiraled out, and then whether or not they came back out of it was kind of. I mean, it is up to you, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and when you spiral out too, man, like you never know where you're gonna land on that spiral.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I have homies that did overdose and passed, and then
Mm.
other homies going to prison, and
Yeah.
so like you never know, man. Life is crazy, man.
It is.
You
It's
never know where
very-
you're gonna end up.
Yeah. Sorry to derail us.
No, yeah, you're good.
So you just had done your conversion?
Yeah, so I was working at the Home Depot and was having my conversion, and then I ended up leaving Home Depot to be like a pastor. It
Mhm,
was like
okay.
they called it like an outreach pastor or
Mhm.
assistant pastor, and so I would do these Bible studies at a rescue mission where they help poor, and then they help women who were like trafficked. This
Mm.
was out in Louisiana.
Okay.
So we had moved to Louisiana for me to pastor at this Calvary Chapel out
Uh-huh.
there. And so I was out there for a few years, but towards the end of my time, there was a bunch of stuff that had happened, and I just felt like God was calling me out of that. And that's kind of a whole story in and
Yeah.
of itself. And so I knew like leaving the full-time ministry, I wanted to leave and be intentional about like my life.
Mhm.
And so I was just reflecting on, well, I want to be able to work with my hands. I need something that's going to be consistent. And as I was praying about like what that looks like for me, it was plumbing.
Yeah.
It was being reminded of pulling that toilet, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
I've done this before.
Yeah, like, yeah, you already know, like you already got to head up.
Yeah.
So I talked with, I actually knew a few guys. One dude from church, he was a mechanical plumber, part of the union, and he gave me a connection at the time. So we were in Shreveport, Louisiana. He gave me a connection to the union, local 100 in Dallas. And wrote me gave me a referral, whatever. And then I also had a family member on my wife's side that put in a good word for me too, because he knew some union guys at the local 100. So,
and that's a long wait for some locals.
Yeah,
it's like a 2-year wait.
Yeah, no,
it's crazy.
It is crazy. So even how I got accepted in the union is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that story too. But yeah, so they had these connections. I reached out, and I would say I think when I started reaching out, it was probably October, and I was in with a company, like moved from Louisiana to Dallas, Texas in a company by, I think, March.
No way.
February, March.
Damn. So
it was quick.
Yeah, quick turnaround.
It was really quick.
That's very, that's lucky, because a lot of guys, I mean, shoot, some guys will wait because I think it runs out after 2 years or something. You take the test, you get ready, and then if you don't get called in 2 years, you're kind of just get to the back of the line, retest. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So the guy I got hooked up with, Roger Wakefield.
Familiar?
You're familiar with him, the expert plumber guy?
Yeah.
All right, so when I was moving, I was looking for a place, like asking different plumbing companies, like, hey, are you hiring? And he was one of the places that I called. It was Texas Green Plumbing. And they were the only residential plumbing service company in the union. So every other, it was really weird. Every other company was, if they were service, were commercial service. And then obviously you had your new construction. But he was the only residential service company. And they actually brought me on. I think this is how it went. They brought me on and then got the union to bring me on. Because, like normally in the union, you got to go through the hall.
Yeah.
And then they place you.
Yeah.
And I think because of his uniqueness of being the only residential service.
Some pull.
Yeah, I don't know. There was like a whole controversy. I'm not really sure what it is, but there was a controversy behind it. But he got me in, he got me hired, and then I went in and then was a part of the union.
Nice. That's pretty crazy to be. I mean, it had to have been a pretty big shop for just that one residential union company, right? No?
It wasn't big, man.
Really?
At the time, I think there were 2 or 3 journeymen and 2 apprentices.
So were they just starting to or was it just?
It was. I mean, it was just
was there a lot of work? I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we had we have a ton of work.
Okay.
Cool. We specialized in leak detection. And so, I mean, you got older houses. The company was based out of Richardson, Texas, which is kind of it's like a northeast area.
Is that near? Where's Odessa? Isn't Odessa north?
Odessa, I believe, is way west.
Way west. Okay. Yeah, we do a lot. A lot of our companies that we work with at Plumber's Choice is Texas. Texas is, I guess they have like really horrible water out there.
Yeah, they got bad water.
Yeah. So how long were you out in Dallas for before you moved back?
About 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
How did you like Dallas? Because were you doing the plumbing and still doing
your? No, so I left ministry to do plumbing full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any because the people from California to Texas is so different?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever come into a house where you're just like, this person's a little off, but like not judging them, but it's just like, I always look at people, even in traffic, I'll look at them like, what do you do with like your whole day? Like, I don't know, like whether they're angry or they're just like, I just look at people, I'm like, what do you do all day?
Yeah. I mean, in Texas, so there are a lot of people moving to Texas, like from California. Like there's an area called Frisco. They're calling it Orange County 2.0.
Really?
Yeah. PGA has actually moved their headquarters from Florida to Frisco.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
There's a whole thing over there. I would say there are, you're always going to get strange people, dude.
Yeah, that's true. What's the strangest, I guess, overall, like your time being in the trades, like is there one? Yeah. Is there one that pops out to you?
Yeah, I guess the strangest one was kind of, it was weird. All right, so I walked into this house. I got called to a shower leak, and you show up, and what's weird too is sometimes like the houses can look normal. Sometimes you pull up to a house and you kind of see the front, and you're thinking like, this is gonna be bad. And then you walk in, you're like, oh, I mean, it's not that bad in here.
Chandelier.
You know, like even though the outside looked like whatever,
Yeah,
but
trap house.
well, yeah, but like you walk in, you're like, oh man, this is actually cleaned up,
Yeah,
you
it was
decorated
made, like-
nice. It's like it's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, I show up to this house. It looks like a normal house, and so in my brain, I'm not preparing myself at all. I walk into the house, or I knock on the door, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I need you to give me 1 minute. My dogs are crazy." I'm like, "Okay." So I hear them like barking. They're like these small little dogs, and they're just going. So he shuts the door and he puts them away, I guess. And we walk in, and it's a mess. And there's just stuff everywhere. And I can see into the kitchen, and they got like a mosquito light like hanging, and it's looking it's looking a little messed out, dude, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm starting to get these vibes, like these vibes of like something's super off. This is not.
That's intuition.
Yeah.
That is, when something's not right. at
Something's
all.
not right. Something's bad here, dude. And so we walk in. We walk into the bathroom to check out the shower, and it's just a super old shower. It's dirty and it's constantly leaking. And so I'm going to check it out, and all of a sudden I hear, like, I stand up and I hear a door open, and the dogs. Someone just let the dogs out.
Fuck.
And the dogs ran, and one of them bit me, dude.
No.
Like straight through the pants.
Oh.
Broke my skin.
No way.
I flung the dog off my leg.
Uh-huh.
Like he was on my leg. I had to flick him off. And, the guy was apologizing. It almost felt like the wife had did it on purpose. I don't know, dude.
Oh, so they might have been like arguing. Why do you have the plumber come
I
in
don't
here?
know. Yeah.
Oh.
It felt like it was on purpose. And
They were like mutts? What were they kind of like?
yeah, they were like medium-sized mutt
Still.
dogs. Yeah.
Any dog coming after you is not fun.
Well, yeah. And because of the atmosphere, normally I would have just been like,
oh, no, you're good.
yeah, it's all good. Put the dog up. We'll figure this out. But because of the atmosphere, I was paranoid.
Yeah.
I actually called the office and was like, I just got bit by a dog. I want to go get a tetanus shot.
Hell yeah.
And so I went and got a tetanus shot. And then I guess when I told them about it, they contacted the office, and they didn't take the dogs, but they wanted to test the dogs or something.
Yeah.
To make sure they didn't have anything, because it was that bad.
Yeah, damn. So they actually locked
It
onto
locked onto my leg, bro.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like the most bizarre, crazy moment I think I've had in a weird house.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever found anything? I'm sure. Like, what's some crazy things you've pulled out of a toilet? I'm sure diapers, wet wipes.
Yeah. I mean, wet wipes are,
Is that one thing? If you were to tell everybody, like, what's one thing that will ruin your plumbing system? Would that be it?
for sure. So I guess a caveat might be the word, or an exception.
Yeah.
There's one exception to that. Cottonelle flushable wipes. So that's the only flushable wipe that I would recommend to anyone that won't damage your system.
Cottonelle.
Cottonelle.
Sponsor this.
No,
Mom, you
whatever.
got that? Cottonelle.
So
Do they actually dissolve? Do they break down?
It
Or what is
does.
it?
So if you
Oh.
actually take it and pull it apart, it breaks down very easily.
Huh.
And if you were to soak it in water and mix it, it would break down.
Yeah.
Most of the flushable wipes, they will break down maybe over time.
50 years.
Yeah, but because they typically use like a PVC thing in them,
that makes
gives it
sense.
strength.
Yeah.
It's gonna get caught.
Yeah.
So if those Cottonelle wipes cause a clog, it's almost like if you were to have the extra thick, triple ply toilet paper. It's like
Yeah.
compared to triple ply toilet paper.
Yeah.
So if that's gonna clog it, then that'll clog it.
Yeah. Interesting. Have you ever worked on any like famous people's or like really nice homes? You're just like, fuck.
I have, but I can't mention it.
Yeah, no,
But I
no.
can tell you off record.
Yeah, for sure.
There's one house in Dana Point, man. That was like
Really?
the highlight, dude.
Dang. I worked on a home that was down the street from his name's like forget his name, but he's the one that sold Oculus to Facebook.
Okay.
It was like right down the street. He was putting in an elevator for his car. So his driveway, pull up, and it was all glass. Pull up, and it elevates your car, turns your car. So when you get out of your car, you have a view of the ocean. It was on Lido Island. It was just like, or Lido Isle.
Yeah,
Lido?
I know Lido, yeah.
Yeah, it was right there. It was just like,
Sick.
what kind of fucking? That's so
That's a
crazy.
lot of money,
Yeah.
dude. So here's one I can mention because there's no name on it, but when I first moved back, I worked with a company that is partners with a property management company that deals with a lot of the beachfront homes out
Mhm.
here. And I worked on a house. There's a Netflix show called Selling OC.
Oh yeah. Oh, I saw the heads pop up.
And so there's a house, I think in season 2, it's in the montage,
Mhm.
and I went there to fix their washer box.
Whoa.
And that house was pretty dope. But
Really?
I went in. Normally you're not when you go into those houses, you're not dealing with the people. You're dealing with like property manager or maid or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it till after the fact. So, I'm going in there. It's a really nice house.
Mhm.
Going down, put in the washer box, whatever, and then come to find out
What was that?
it was a house on that show.
That's
Yeah.
sick. Do you ever just wonder like I always imagine myself like what would I do my day to day, like I'd go to the beach, I'd wake up, like if you're living in those kind of homes, I feel like you're not really working that hard.
Yeah.
You've
You
already
know
worked
what's
hard enough.
you would think so, but not. So
Really?
I just went to a house here in Laguna Beach.
Uh-huh.
And so if you go down PCH here, you'll see there's like this really cool like Cliff Cove area where it's just really pretty, but nothing's there. And there's these houses like that are kind of stationed all on the cliff.
Uh-huh.
She had one of those properties.
Yep.
And I walk in, she had a kitchen clog. I walk in to clear her drain. This was yesterday. And you look out, she's got, it's all glass, and it's like something out of a movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like this amazing view.
Iron Man lives here.
Yeah, bro. You're like, whoa, dude. And I'm thinking, like, what would it be like to live here? Like,
Yeah.
and so anyway, I finished doing my service or whatever, and then we're having a conversation, and she explains like, we bought the house for the view. It's a really nice house, really big house. She's like, after being here for a year, we realized like you start to discover all the nuances of a house.
Yeah.
And you start to realize where all your time is at.
Mhm.
And they're like, yeah, we have this other house, and we think we're just gonna sell it or rent it or something, and just go back to the house we had because I mean it's a great view, but all of this and the maintenance and like the house is
Yeah.
having some stuff, it's like it's not worth it.
Yeah.
After having that conversation, it humanized it for me.
Mhm.
It just like this person's had this house for a year, and as beautiful it is, it still has its problems. They're still thinking like, I'd rather be without the view at this other house, than dealing with, so it's
Yeah.
a pretty interesting thing.
Is there like a location that you like a part of the city or just area that you love going to? Because it's gonna be like a great customer or it's just gonna be like an easy fix. Are there like cities that you kind of prefer going to?
That's a great question. I would say, I mean, I love Newport Beach.
Yeah.
Newport Beach is pretty consistent. Most of the time, things aren't falling apart.
Mhm.
There's going to be problems, but for the most part, because of the quality and when the house was built, you do have a lot of leeway to make the repairs without like things backfiring.
Yeah.
But when in certain older cities, like when I get into like Santa Ana, areas of Costa Mesa, Laguna Niguel,
Mhm.
they're older properties, so you run into issues where,
More of a headache.
yeah,
Ugh.
you have a lot more potential of once I get into this,
Yeah.
we might be no going back at this point,
Mhm.
So I would say I feel really blessed to be a part of Newport Beach.
Yeah.
Newport Beach is where it's at.
Yeah, I feel like Newport, and yeah, I never really thought about you pull up to a home and it's 60 years old, 70 years old. You're like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be an issue somewhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna fix it, and then something else is gonna happen. They're like, that guy, he
Yeah.
touched my sink, and now my shower is electric. Like, there's electricity coming out of my shower.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's yeah, I see that all the time, man.
Right?
Where it could be something super non-related, like, yeah, you came over to look at my faucet, and now my toilet doesn't
Yeah.
flush.
My
What's up?
sprinkler head in the back corner of my property doesn't work. It's like, dude, shut up. That's
Yeah,
funny.
for
Have you ever
sure.
gotten blamed for something like on a job that you did not do?
I'm sure I have. I'm drawing a blank on it, but
You don't have to say like where it was. Have you ever broke something and you just never said anything?
no, I couldn't do
No,
that.
yeah, I've done that
I would
once.
have too much shame,
I
dude.
did.
Did you?
I did. I was doing electrical. We were doing. I was working for DWP in LA, like through
Uh,
the union. We were just doing lamp and ballast changes, and It was at a like a fast food Mexican restaurant, something,
Uh,
and I was working on a light right in front of where like the TVs were, where you like would order, and it had the menus on it. And the light, I'm working on it, and like I'm trying to close it up, and I handed my foreman. This is the last light of the day, and like we were about to get off. It was like 4 hour job. We're getting paid for 8. Doesn't matter. We're getting out of here. And the light like just swings down or something. I was handing my foreman something. The light swings down, boom, and hit the screen like the corner,
oh
and it
man.
just went black. And I was like. It's like, fuck. He looked at me and he's like, we're getting out of here.
Oh,
So, like, it wasn't
no.
I was like, I would have said something. We got their information. We ended up paying for a TV,
Good.
but he's like, you're not saying anything. And I was just like,
Bro.
yeah, I'm going to go over my form. I'm like not even a year in my apprenticeship. I'm
Yeah.
just like already ratting someone out. But yeah, that was the only time I broke something. But
I mean, there have been times, I mean, I'm sure where I overwrenched and broke, but I would usually explain if it wasn't related to just the plumbing being bad and it happening while working.
yeah,
But like if there was something where I screwed up, I usually be like, look, it's my bad. You know, if I gotta come back, I gotta come back. But you know,
Yeah.
and I'll bear the consequence of it.
yeah. I always feel like I could look back and be like, a cross thread is a tight thread. They don't need to know. Like, the
Yeah,
next
well,
guy
it
will.
holds.
You know, that's something I learned from my dad very early on. A cross thread is a tight thread unless it's on an engine. Then you're really screwed.
I mean, yeah. I mean that I have done that before when it was cross-threaded and thought, you know, I'm just gonna wrench it. And hey, if it don't leak, it don't leak.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
What mama don't know, don't hurt her.
yeah,
Man,
that's funny.
let's see. Oh, what's the most valuable thing that you've lost on a job? Like because you set it down somewhere, or like you were in a crawl space. Have you ever left like an expensive tool behind accidentally?
I mean, the most expensive. If you're familiar with Knipex pliers,
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
it's the best.
I've lost a few of the large, 12. So I know it's like $60 a pop. Or
Yeah, but
something.
still.
But those are always rough, especially when you leave it and then you go to grab it and you realize the tool you use most often is gone.
Oh yeah.
Like that is probably the most frustrating aspect of it. But I don't think I've lost like too many high-end stuff. Usually if it's high-end, I mean, I lose a lot of small stuff. 100%.
Really?
I mean, I can't tell you how many 6-in-1s I've lost,
Yeah.
pliers, levels. I mean, all that stuff. Yeah, I got ADD, and so I could be kind of spastic.
Yeah.
But the high end, expensive equipment, I think because I'm too paranoid about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll remember it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about one time I left, like, I didn't lose it, but I was in the Marine Corps, and I left my first field op I went on. I left my rifle behind.
Oh shoot.
Oh
shoot, bro.
Talk about butthole puckering.
Yeah.
Like, I fucked up. And I
Yeah,
just got
dude.
dog shit hazed out of me, but it was
Yeah.
like a learning lesson. It was like, anything you bring with you is like, I better be attached to your body.
Well, I mean, forgetting a rifle is kind of a big thing, bro.
I
That's,
know.
that's a big
But
one,
like,
dude.
so I had to go like help like break down an antenna, and like I put it up against the building, and then they're like, "Get the fuck back!" and all this stuff, and so I just ran, and then we get in the truck, and they're like, "Where's everyone's stuff?" And they knew I left it, like they saw me leave it, I guess, and they already had it.
So they're just messing with you too. Up that
Yeah.
point.
Oh yeah.
Well, appreciate your service, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
you. Thanks,
thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. There's guys I've done a lot more, so.
Hey man, I don't care whether at the smallest, man. If you've volunteered to join and you did your service, man, I appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a fucking idiot that didn't want to go to high school, or didn't want to go to college.
Yeah, you still went though,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Appreciate you.
So let's see. We have a question right here. You're stranded on a deserted island with one tool. What is it, and how do you use it? And this isn't plumbing related. This is like survival. You're in the thick of it,
I mean, it'd have to be some sort of knife, dude.
right?
Like some sort of
Like a machete.
yeah, machete or something I could sharpen, because then I could cut plants, cut animals,
Yeah.
That seems like I could build shelters with it.
Are you? Could you survive? Like, do you think you're inclined enough to like, if you were in a survival situation, you would be like, I can get water, I can get food. Like, are you inclined like that?
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, really?
I mean, I could clutch it out probably if worst came to worst.
Maybe 30 days is pushing it, but like maybe a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in a situation where it was like I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna figure it out. I've been always good about figuring stuff out when I've needed to at the moment.
Yeah.
But if you were to put me on Survivor or something, I'd probably tap out and dip.
Yeah. What about if you were to be blindfolded? What's one thing that you could do blindfolded in your job, like plumbing wise? Is there something you could
So,
just second nature?
I mean, Odie, I'm an Odie ambassador,
Okay.
and they do this thing every year. They call it Ambassador Fest.
Ambassador Fest.
And so they bring all of us ambassadors out. So I'm an Odie All-Star now. There's I think 4 or 5 of us, and then they have their regular lineup.
Mhm.
Anyway, they invite us all out, and we do this competition where one of the days we get split up into teams, and it's just a bunch of plumbing tasks or whatever. And this last one we went to was installing tubular offset. So it was underneath the vanity sink. All the tubular was broken down. We needed to plumb in. I actually had to put in a pop-up, the tubular to the drain, and I'd do it blindfolded.
No way.
Yeah, I did it, bro.
Wait. So there's a competition that is like, do you guys? It still happens and all this like every year?
So yeah, every year it's kind of like a lighthearted competition.
Yeah,
between
yeah, but
they
still.
set up. Yeah, and so oh yeah, our team won.
No
There's a
way.
thing about it though, where people were upset. That's a whole thing in itself. But
Was it like related to cheating?
yeah, like oh, you won off of
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, every year we do these little competitions when we go out there,
Mhm.
and it's funny, man. Brandon's starting to do that now. So I'm actually going to a Ream event in Oxnard next week.
Really?
So it'll be November, 14th or whatever that is.
That's cool. And is it like it's a
And it's
competition?
gonna be a skills competition.
Real, dude, I'd love to go to one of those. We might have to try to get to those. Is it like a full-on event where like people can come watch or no?
So this is the first time Ream is doing it. I don't
Mm.
know how
Yeah.
accessible it's gonna be to the public, but it's gonna be at their training facility.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll have to sit down. I'd love to come to one of those.
Yeah.
That sounds super.
I'm sure they'd love the marketing
Yeah,
aspect of that, the
right. I think
publicity.
so. Yeah. Dang. So you would say like I guess you did that. Is there another like
Um,
something that's just fucking pop pop?
Yeah, I mean tubular is pretty easy peasy, man.
Mhm.
Blindfolded. I mean an angle stop,
Yeah.
compression angle stop would probably be easy money.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't put those in. I solder
Yeah.
male adapters, put those on.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably run a drain if there was like a main or something.
Uh-huh.
Feel around for the main, throw a sectional cable in there, pump it. I
Okay.
probably could do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of winding down, what's your favorite part of the industry? What's the cool part of waking up and, not going to an office and just
Yeah.
punching the clock and like fucking draining yourself? What's cool about being in the industry?
I mean, that is what drove me into service over new construction because I want to have a level of freedom.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel trapped. And that's how I felt, man. At all the jobs I've ever worked my entire life of going in, clocking out.
Mm-hmm.
Just always felt trapped, man. My personality, I think it is maybe because of the ADD a little bit.
Yeah.
Of,
It's a superpower.
yeah, dude, if you harness it, bro,
It
100% is. If you have it, as an I think that's part of my addiction personality. That might be a radical take, but I don't think addiction is a disease. I think it's a personality type.
For sure.
And if
It's
you harness it, you can take it.
It's like you're medicating yourself.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad or whatever it is, like that's something in your brain is like a little off because I have ADHD or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I am fucking like a squirrel.
Yeah.
And I think like you said, like harnessing that and being able to like drive that in a direction of like work or hobby or something is you can't buy that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's what I did with the trade.
Yeah.
I took it and I just started to dive into all things plumbing, and then social media was like all things plumbing, and
Yeah.
like just harnessing that and putting it, trying to focus my sporadic, like all things plumbing, and kind of built that up.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh
You
no,
go.
I was just saying, but getting back to the, that's why I love service plumbing, because like every day, whether it's multiple places in one day or just one place for the day, I'm constantly moving around. And
Yeah.
that gives me peace because I feel like I'm free to do what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
get trapped.
Yeah, I mean, I work in an office most of the days, but the days that I'm like, I get to go to work. Like, you get to go to work is the days where I'm not at the office.
Uh,
You're out and about. You're talking with people. You could talk to just about anybody. I'm sure, right?
yeah,
Like homeowner, you just like, hey, what's going on?
yeah,
Whether they want to talk to you or not, it's like I will still strike up a conversation. I don't care.
yeah.
But yeah, that is I feel like one thing is and of course probably coming from like new construction, it's just like doing the same thing over and over again is very repetitive. I'm sure doing service, you're problem solving, and that's like
Yeah.
it's a rewarding thing for your brain, especially.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely to be in service, you got to be able to diagnose, you got to be able to troubleshoot, and so that is a good break. Sometimes that can be really stressful,
Mhm.
depending on the level of complexity of what you're trying to troubleshoot. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, like to be able to go in and install a faucet, and then later on do some leak detection, or
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome to be able to break that up that way.
Yeah. Would you say there's more money in service than new?
100%.
Yeah. So would you say any guys that are out there that are like thinking about making that is that a big switch for guys to make going
It's
from one to the
yeah,
other?
I would say if you're getting into plumbing, you're when you first get in, you're not probably going to be with a company that's going to make you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Really, what I would recommend to guys getting in, find a company that is an hourly company. Maybe they have some sort of incentives based on performance,
Hmm.
but get in with an hourly company to where you can really connect with the journeyman, learn the ropes, all that. Usually where you make the most money is when you're commissioned.
Yeah.
So when a company says, you'll make 30% of your labor sales or whatever, that's when you can really fire it up. Unless you find a solid company, I want my company to be this way where we're an hourly company with high profit sharing.
Oh yes.
So
I believe in that.
yeah. So at least with an hourly company, because the best times I've ever had at companies were hourly companies, and there was like the most camaraderie. Like we would be partnered up on big jobs, and it wasn't like trying to figure out how are we dividing this or like losing to help someone out when I could be making more money,
Yeah.
because we were all hourly and it was all, if there's profit sharing, it's like you get the camaraderie of working with your boys, you're doing it. It's just a great atmosphere where commission, when I went to a full commission company, I made the most money I had ever made, but you don't have the same type of camaraderie. You're kind of on your own, doing
Yeah.
your own thing. It's not the same.
Yeah.
So,
That sucks.
so I would recommend getting in with a company that is hourly first.
Hmm.
And then if you're really looking to make money, if you can't find an hourly with profit sharing, then go into a full commission company.
Yeah. So are you you said are you going to be starting your own company soon, or you
No,
already have your
I
own?
already have my own company.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how long have you guys been, or how long have you been in business?
So we soft started in October of 2023 and then went full time with the company in January 2024.
Nice. And how has it been going from being just the tech, or just the guy that shows up, to now running everything?
It's a blessing and a curse, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to run it how I want to run it, to be able to choose the jobs, to be able to build my price book the way it is, to be able to set the way, if I were to bring someone on, how we treat each customer.
Yeah, like an onboarding kind of
Like an onboarding procedures.
Yeah, there you
Having
go.
my own procedures of how that works. Like it's exciting, man, and it feels good to be able to kind of do that. At the same time, it's super stressful because I'm assuming all liability.
Yeah.
So like there's houses I serve in Newport Coast that, are like 5,000, 6,000 square feet. They're $23 million homes.
Yeah.
And the idea of screwing something failing
Hmm.
and it flooding makes me paranoid.
Yeah.
So there's a level of constant, not fear, but there's just like this underlying like caution.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is scary. What would, like, worst case scenario, what would like the insurance even? I'm sure there's insurance that
Yeah.
but like, fuck.
I mean, there's so here we have a minimum of $1 million policy. That's like a minimum, and then you have other things, or you can increase it depending on what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
I really don't know. That there was one time in my last year, a new customer, her husband was going through chemotherapy, and he was staying in a bedroom upstairs with a bathroom, and that's where he was like going through and recovering. And they had asked me to put in this new faucet, and I gave him a price, whatever. Well, then I looked down, I realized they have these old angle stops they looked fairly new, but they were the ones that are corrugated copper. It's like integrated into the stop, so you can't replace the supply lines. And I'm like, look, we got to replace these valves because it is possible with these connections that they could blow, it could leak. And she's like, okay, but can we do it can we just replace them maybe in a week or so? And up until this point, I've always been like, no,
Yeah.
we can't do that. But I thought I was having compassion
Yeah.
and was like, okay, look, we can do that. And so I installed the faucet, I reinstalled the supply lines, turn it on, check it, everything's fine. Next day,
Oh, fuck.
you already know I'm going with this. It's a Friday, 3 p.m. or I get a phone call and I couldn't grab it right away, but I get this voicemail. So I about 15 minutes pass after I get the phone call. I look, check the voicemail, and it's just her. It's the wife saying, Shay, we got a problem. Water is raining down into my garage.
Oh, no.
Here now. And dude, it's my first year, bro.
Uh-huh.
And I'm panicking because this house, it's a nice house, but like, if we were in Temecula, this house would probably be $500,000. But because of the location of where it is and all that, it's like a $3 million home or something. And so I'm in full panic mode. Luckily, I didn't have any other calls. I was able to go straight to her house. But I go to her house. Sure enough, man, the hot side. And luckily, he was home when it happened. But I guess he had used the faucet, closed it, and then for whatever reason, the actual corrugated copper blew fully open. Like it blew
Like
right
it split.
off. Yeah.
Whoa.
And was just dumping hot water in the upstairs bathroom it was like a brand new bathroom that they just wallpapered with this fancy wallpaper. And then it traveled into the garage, and you couldn't make this stuff up. They had a table there with family photos.
Like, all their most valuable stuff
Dude,
on
yeah,
that table.
you could not write a script of the situation. And so like I'm panicking, but like in the back of my head, I had him sign the paperwork of saying like this could happen. I walked him through it, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But in the moment too, it really doesn't matter like to a customer standpoint, even if they agree, that most people don't assume it's going to happen to them.
Yeah, yeah.
They just assume maybe you're just being overly cautious.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, whatever. So we're looking at each other, and she's like, so what are we doing about this? Like, how are we going to... And I'm thinking, yeah, and I'm...
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Yeah, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm a brand new company. I'm just starting my reputation.
Yeah. Oh.
All it takes is this one review of Shay came to my house and he flooded my house and is not doing anything about it. Whether it's true or not, and it's not true because I have the paperwork, but once people will see that, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not calling this guy. He's got like 7 reviews and there's a flood review.
Yeah. One out of the 7.
So what I ended up doing is I knew 2 remediation companies. The first guy came out with, it ended up being a very bad experience and kind of showed me I can't refer this guy.
Yeah.
Because clearly there were things that I saw that he was walking me through it, and I'm like, no, that doesn't need to happen. Because they were like, we got to open up the wallpaper wall. I'm like, it's a shared wall with the garage. Why wouldn't we just open up the garage? Anyway.
Yeah.
So I called this other company that I worked with previously. They're real cool. Jarvis.
Shout out to Jarvis.
Jarvis. They came out, they inspected everything, and I just said, look, man, I'm going to eat it. I'm not going to go through insurance because I'm too new.
Yeah.
So whatever we got to do to make this right, but just, please consider me in this,
Yeah.
And Jarvis, man, they came through, dude, and it took, I think, 3 or 4 days to dry everything out, but we dried it out, and I just took the hit on it.
Yeah.
But all that to say, ever since then too, now I'm very adamant about like doing certain things, regardless of whether I feel like, because ultimately I shouldn't have probably done it. I should have just said, well, let's just schedule till we can do all of it at once. But it was a lesson learned.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, at least it worked out for them. Kind of, it was a learning lesson for you, but had you not gone that route, it could have still, put a stain on your company for just that one review.
100%.
So like it's eat it or it's like maybe fight it. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I was gauging. I'm like, really, when it comes down to bad reviews too, I ask myself, how much money would I spend to remove it? Like if someone were to put a crazy review, how much money am I willing to spend to not go through it? And then that would kind of gauge of like, the X amount of dollars to dry this out instead of going through, look, I shared with you multiple times, you signed because everything I have is signed on my software. Like you signed knowing this could happen.
Yeah.
I was very adamant about, knowing it happened. Legally, it's not on me, but then is that worth that? It wasn't worth it to me.
Yeah. Well, I think it was the right decision.
Yeah.
As much as it probably ate at you.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it was the right decision.
Yeah. Okay, switching gears. What is your favorite conspiracy theory?
Flat Earth.
No,
No,
really?
no,
I was
no.
gonna say no way.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of crazy. I mean, I just impulse said that, but thinking about it, I think a flat Earth would be fun, dude. If that was real, I remember when on TikTok that was like a really big thing during COVID,
Huge.
bro.
Oh
Like, so
yeah,
much.
that and Pizzagate.
Pizzagate was a
Pizzagate
crazy one
was
too, dude.
huge.
Yeah, and the Wayfair stuff,
Yeah, wait. Oh yeah, the Wayfair.
the furniture.
Where the furniture was named after missing children.
Yeah, like,
What was up with that?
some, like gnarly conspiracy
Whatever
stuff.
happened with that? That's actually a really.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It was just some crazy stuff.
But why was it even listed on there? Like, that's a weird thing
I
to
don't
call
know.
a sofa is fucking
Yeah.
Timmy Turner. I don't know.
$72,000 or something.
Yeah.
The whole thing was weird.
Yeah, doorstep delivery with a large pie, or like
But the flat Earth thing, if that was real, that would be really fun.
That would
To
be.
think that there was like a border and there's
Ice
other
wall
lands and
yeah.
stuff outside of that, and
But how would the Earth be rotated? Like, be like a coin? Like
have
you
no
flip.
idea.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe in space too much. Like, do you believe in space? Like,
Yeah,
some
for
people
sure.
don't.
Elon's been there a few times, right? He sent people up there.
Yeah. That's funny. A lot of people, I feel like, there's not too many good conspiracies. I feel like a lot of them got debunked or.
What about the moon landing?
Ooh.
I'll be honest, man. Do I believe we went to the moon? I think, but I know the footage. That footage can't be real, bro.
I think we went to the moon after we were initially told we went to the moon.
Yeah.
It was definitely to bankrupt the USSR.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. I think they bankrupted themselves in like a span of like 6 months or something
Did they?
crazy. That they, once we said we're fucking going,
Yeah.
like they were pushing everything and anything. You know?
Yeah. You look at that footage and you're like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
Real footage from the moon. But
What's one job as a child that you wanted to be like a professional at? Was it like you want to be a professional?
dude, I want to be an actor, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see you being an actor.
Dude, I wish I was. No,
Yeah, no, I
So-
swear, I could see you maybe in like what was it, like a Clerks kind of like Jane Silent Bob. Those are my
dude.
favorite.
Yeah, Mallrats and
Yeah,
stuff.
Mallrats.
bro.
Mallrats is great.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be an actor. And that might just be because I grew up in Southern California, but
Same. I feel like everybody
Yeah.
that you grow up here is
that
like,
was just the thing, dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time I met Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell, and that was like a
Whoa.
big thing of like,
Yeah.
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 And then I went to a couple auditions as a kid. and
Did
stuff.
you?
Yeah.
Did you get any of them?
No, dude.
Oh,
no,
damn.
not at all. But that was always the dream. You know,
Yeah.
that was always the dream.
Well, if you had a plumbing show, what would the plumbing show be called?
I thought about like doing because I do on YouTube. I started doing like almost like a daily vlog of day
Yeah.
in the life where I take kind of my followers on a day where we do multiple jobs. So we drive in the truck together and then we get to the job, do the
Oh,
job. get
yeah.
out. And yeah,
You worked up a pretty big following on social media.
Yeah.
Was that like, was there a video that went viral, or is there like a just very consistent posting?
yeah, I think it depends on the platform. So YouTube was the first platform that my following developed, and that was just from consistency. TikTok, I had a couple viral videos that fired off,
Mhm.
and then that kind of gained a following. But then I feel like I got shadow banned on TikTok or something
Yeah.
to where everything just died out.
Yeah. They weren't pushing your stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
and they still don't. Like, it's weird, man. I'll get really low views and then I'll get like a banger, and then really low
Yeah.
views and then banger.
It's so weird. It's almost like it's like a drip of like morphine or something. Like you get like
Yeah.
really like you get a lot of views, and then they're like the algorithm will be like, all right,
Yeah.
you had your fun, and then it's like, oh, let's get
Yeah.
you again.
I feel like they only do it to some of us, man. Because I got boys, dude, who post. Maybe they post consistently. I get kind of burnt out,
Yeah.
so I may do like a ton, and then I'm just like, I don't want to edit. I don't want to film,
Yeah.
and I'll go like a week and not post, and then it's like 2 videos in a week, and I
Yeah.
think that kills me. Where the bros are posting like every day, and they're getting consistency.
Yeah.
But
Consistency
my
in
happiness
life.
isn't worth it, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Sometimes you just want to shut it off.
Yeah, bro. I mean, there's been times where I didn't do it for a few weeks. I
Yeah.
just needed a break,
Yeah.
But that ruins your momentum in the algorithm for
Oh,
sure.
100%. And fucking algorithms run everything now.
They do,
It's so
unfortunately,
so
bro.
messed up.
Yeah.
But last question we ask
Alright.
all of our guests. You're hungry and you're thirsty. You just drove up to a gas station. What is your favorite gas station snack and drink that you're grabbing?
I would say, okay, so my go-to beverage of all time
Yep.
is gonna be unsweetened iced tea. I mean, day and night, doesn't matter. Unsweet iced tea is the jam, dude.
Yeah.
So if they got the brewed iced tea, I'm gonna rock with that.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have that, I'm probably going to the fridge and looking for some sort of electrolyte drink.
Yeah.
But
Electrolyte. Do you like those? Electrolyte.
I don't think I've had that
no?
one.
Oh,
No,
they're good.
no. What is that? The brand? What's it
It's,
called?
yeah, it's like just like your normal Pedialyte looking bottle, but it says electrolyte.
Oh, okay.
It's cool,
Yeah. I've had those, dude. Yeah. Yeah, the Pedialyte stuff, dude. I've had those.
I feel like drinking a sweet tea too, or like an unsweetened sweet tea. You wear like a Hawaiian shirt minus like the floral, you know. That's like the vibe of a unsweetened tea. I
Dude,
guess it's
yeah.
it sounds good right now.
Unsweet, yeah. There's something refreshing because you get the little kick of caffeine off the black tea, but it's still like it's refreshing.
It's
and
very
it's not
refreshing to
sugar
drink,
because it's
yeah.
unsweet. So
Yeah.
that's my go-to drink.
Yep.
Food-wise, I'm usually grabbing either some sort of nuts, like a mixed bag or something.
Okay.
I knew I had a thought.
I thought I was gonna get
It's
you.
just like, yeah, no diddy.
And your favorite gas station? 7-Eleven. You look like a 7-Eleven guy.
It's funny you say that, bro. 7-Eleven and AM/PM were the spot for coffees, dude.
Ooh.
I would go for coffee. AM/PM was, and 7-Eleven had really good coffee too. But now I'm a little bougie now with the Starbucks.
Shout out. Actually, Starbucks, you know, they fucking get me every time $12 for a drink.
No, well, bro, cinnamon dolce latte, bro.
Whoa, cinnamon dolce latte.
Oh, dude,
That sounds like a rapper.
got a cinnamon dolce latte, no whip, bro. It's a jam.
Yeah.
Try it, dude. It's bomb.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Shay, for coming meeting with us.
Yeah, bro.
It was a lovely conversation. We're definitely gonna be meeting up again. I want
For
some
sure.
more, back behind the scenes and stuff. But
Yeah, thanks for having
Shay,
me,
of
homie.
course.
Yeah.
Last thing too, brown or black hat?
Black.
Black.
Do black,
Oh,
dude.
That was a sign.
Sick.
Shay, thank you again.
Yeah,
All right,
appreciate it,
man.
homie.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for more.